You're an excellent kisser, Alan.
Yeah, so are you. It was great. We made out for a long time.
Yes.
Alan has talked about this on more than one occasion. It left an impression, an indelible, lasting, etched in stone impression on Alan. It's a well-known fact you have the largest lips in show business.
That's right.
How do you compete with that? Alan's got these little paper clips over his teeth. Is he going to be consumed entirely? Is he dancing? Is he fighting for his life?
Once we were spacemen.
I tend to play weird people, usually aliens and robots and things that don't have romance.
I once didn't get a job where they were looking for a Nathan Fillion type. Once we were spacemen.
Once we were spacemen.
Alan Tudyk.
Nathan Fillion.
Today, we have a guest on our podcast who is not only an incredibly talented actress and lovely human being, but a friend of ours.
Yes.
We basically were calling on, my favorite guests are the ones that feel indebted to us that we have to somehow, that they have to do the podcast. Yes. And they do.
It's for people that when we say we once were spacemen, they say, me too. I was a spaceman. Or a space woman in this case.
Kindred spirits.
Yes.
You might say.
Yes.
You might say.
Yes, similar experiences in life, if not.
This particular guest has a special place, I think, in our hearts.
She got a big one in mind, that's for sure. You'll hear about it as we talk to her. It'll just be it'll be oozing out of me. Not in a gross way, but in one that requires some cleanup.
I'll decide how gross it is.
Okay. I think it's already proven to be grosser than I wanted it to be.
Sometimes it just amazes me that I know these people.
Really?
Yeah. She's a powerhouse.
Yeah. Like when I look at all the interviews that she has done, you see her on all the mornings. You do these things too. You both have this ability. You've got that figured out. You do all the Good Morning America. You do the daily shows. You do all of that stuff. She knows how to work it.
She's brilliant. She's clever. She knows how to work it. When I'm doing those things, I'm just inside my head thinking, I sure hope my fly is up right now.
I think you're multitasking then because you do the shows well. So you're thinking about your fly, but you're also doing some good stuff.
I'm going to share this with you, Alan. Anytime I have a pair of pants that have more than one button at the top, like if there's that inside button, then the hook, and then another button, I will forget the zipper entirely. If there's one snap at the bottom and a zipper, it's good. If it's a button fly, that's okay too. But if there's like more than one button at the top and a zipper, I will forget the zipper. It's like a disability.
That's not good. How did you make it through the 80s? There were so many zippers on pants and buttons and zippers and snaps.
I had a zipper tie. One zipper, fine. Button fly, fine. Button zipper, fine. It was just it's usually just dress pants that have this one quality.
Yeah, it's so that you get a good secure waistband so it hangs the proper way. It's that couture. It's that very fine clothing.
I used to wear like some of the linen type. Do you remember? I ran into Don Johnson recently, and I was able to thank him for providing my wardrobe for 10th grade and 11th grade. I wore the mesh shoes. My big toes are kind of the same. They kind of point up, like there's that artist in Mad Magazine where the toes always point.
Like off the ground.
Yeah, like a curled right up, like a little elf shoe. But in those mesh shoes, my toenail would just wear a little hole right through the tip of the shoe, and you'd wear them anyway.
It was the 10th grade. It was the 11th grade.
I wasn't impressing anybody.
No. They were too focused on your white jacket with the collar upturned to really pay too much attention to your shoes.
I didn't know if I upturned the collar, but I certainly did the pastel T-shirt.
I want to guess 70 to 75%. Yes, you had the collar up.
But what a treat. Yes. Today our guest is the lovely and talented Ms. Gina Torres.
Yes. The incomparable, the incalculable, the most amazing Gina Torres. All right, and here we are on Once We Were Spacemen with another space person who's not a man, but did fly in our spaceship. Gina Torres. Do you guys remember when we were doing Firefly? When we first did Firefly, we got the first
Serenity. When we did Serenity.
No, it was Serenity. I thought it was when Fox first put together a promo of, hey, this is what our promo is going to look like. And they said our names.
Yeah. So it was
and
Serenity.
My name was Alan to Dick. I think it was Firefly.
No, Firefly was might as well be walking on the sun. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's just introduce Gina Torres. Gina, thank you very much.
Sorry, yes.
For being
everybody.
Here.
You're very welcome.
Now, what Alan was referencing was the trailer for Serenity had a couple of different versions. It had the guy with the movie voice. You're shaking your head, Alan, but I'm telling you this is a fact.
Really?
And it went through everybody's names, and it did 2 versions. And in both versions, he mispronounced Alan's last name. It was Alan Tudyk and Alan Tudyk.
Jewel was mispronounced, and I think Sean as well.
Mayhar.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's a better story if it's only Alan. But Gina, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing this. We 3 had dinner together not too long ago in Seattle.
True story.
I didn't.
No, you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there. You joined us the following day for the panel.
I came the next day.
Right.
All the important people were there. It was really a beautiful dinner. I don't think we've ever had one that was so personable and just loving. Huh?
I mean, we've had those before. It's probably similar to those.
That was my first time.
It was great to see you all on stage. We didn't get the entire Firefly cast together. We were missing a couple of pieces. But Gina, you were there. Nathan, you were there. I was there. And that's pretty much most of what people wanted to see. Also, Jewel, who's done the podcast, so I'm going to include her.
We 3 are tied inextricably together through something that doesn't tie a lot of people together. Not a lot of people have this particular experience of having been on a very short-lived, very much loved sci-fi TV series. But we all shared this wonderful, bizarre, interesting, heartbreaking, and joyful experience together. Gina, how did Firefly change your life? Did it?
I met you guys.
Is that
Hell
it?
yeah, you did.
Wait a second. It changed your life more than that?
Any regrets?
I don't have any regrets. You know, I was already in the sci-fi world.
Yes, you were. I was a big fan.
With Cleopatra 2525, or what was that it?
Yeah, it was Cleopatra 2525, and I had also, it was
Hercules.
kind of the birth of that fantasy, otherworldly, mythological uprising, right, on TV, and so I had a recurring part on Hercules' Legendary Journeys.
And then Xena, didn't you also participate
I did one episode of Xena where I played Cleopatra. And so I was doing like these crazy stunt shows. And then Firefly came along. And I thought, well, okay, here we go. I guess this is my world now. But it resembled nothing of the worlds that I was previously a part of. So that was interesting. It was Joss's take on what the future looked like. That was really, in a lot of ways, more mainstream than the sci-fi and the fantasy worlds that I had already been a part of. So that was interesting. So I think in some way, it took me out of that very specialized, specific world and brought me into a place that was a little more mainstream than, wearing rubber hot pants and a silver corset as I kept the world safe from evil.
So you went from niche to a little more broadly niche.
A little more broadly niche, yes.
Yeah. It was a sci-fi Western.
Yeah.
First impressions, Gina, I met you at our costume fitting.
Yes.
That was when I first laid eyes on you in person, having already seen you on Cleopatra 2525. I said, oh my God, here's a lady she was living in New Zealand, having these incredible stunt-oriented scenes on sets somewhere, and then you would do your grappling hook, and then you'd come out, and they'd put a manhole cover in the middle of the New Zealand forest somewhere, and you'd pop out of the manhole, and you're like, I've said this about New Zealand, it kind of looks like a different planet.
Yeah, it does.
Everything has a familiarity, but the leaves aren't quite right. All the animals are different. Everybody speaks English. It's kind of like Star Trek, visiting a family, visiting a planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
But I was wildly impressed by you, and we're trying on these outfits. So I was one of the first people to see that statuesque form in that kick-ass kind of Western warrior wear.
Oh, shit.
A little bit pioneer, a little bit gunfighter, and I was beside myself. I'm not going to lie. Do you remember meeting Alan for the first time?
I do.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. It was,
and I do too.
We were in the hair and makeup trailer.
We were in the hair and makeup trailer. We were going to say it together.
Yeah. Yeah. And
is that where we really met? The first time was in the hair and makeup trailer?
Yeah. What about the read through? We did a read through.
I don't know. No,
I don't
it might
think
have
she
been
was there.
If I was. Everything's so okay. This was a long time ago, guys.
Yeah, no. This is 25 years. This is a quarter century. This is a quarter century.
This is a long time ago. So it might have been that we were doing camera
testing.
Right.
That's probably true.
They were trying
to
decide,
would want to put us together.
Yeah, what our look was going to be.
Yeah.
I was so relieved that although I knew because, Nathan was a big daytime soap opera star.
That's right.
And I had worked on One Life to Live.
That's right. While I was there, but
But he doesn't remember me because he was to pay attention to the recurring riffraff.
Well, we never had any storylines together. First of all, did we? No, we didn't.
We didn't have any storylines together. We worked on one day. I remember it was like this big 4th of July episode where everybody played. Because it was like the camera was roaming from one storyline cast to another storyline cast. So everybody was on deck at the same time. And I just remember because I had on a t-shirt and a mini skirt and it was cold as F on that soundstage, and I could not get my nipples to relax.
Oh my God. Like something that Nathan would remember.
And the whole time I'd go back outside and just like hold them together. It was the most, this was before there were pasties and silicone things. There were the special, no. So that was, and then Nathan, so I remembered how tall you were. And so when I got this job, I remember, thank God he's tall because I'm so tired of standing there while leading men bitch about having to stand on an apple box.
My God.
Next to me. So I was knowing, this is a little background information. I was relieved that you were as tall as you are while we were going through these costume fittings. When Alan and I met in the hair and makeup trailer, I just remember you brought out a genuine laugh in me.
Oh.
And it just gurgled up and I said, yes, these are the men that I want to spend time with.
Oh, that's wonderful. Can I say that my mother, so once we were doing Firefly, she was always asking me about how tall you were. Since you just mentioned height, she was saying, she looks much taller than you, Alan. And I was like, well, I think I'm actually a little taller than you. Not on TV, you're not on TV. And it's because when I was in character, you were wearing a little bit of a heel and I was always a little slumped. His wash was a little bit slumped. There's no way he would ever stand up to.
No, we're about the same height, though, aren't we?
What's that? I'm 5'11" and a half.
I think, Gina, you carry yourself taller.
That might be it.
Yeah. I'm ducking usually as I go around life.
By the time, Gina, you did Firefly, if one were to look you up on IMDb, you already had 20 plus credits before Firefly.
Really?
Alan, you were probably the same.
No. I did some stuff, but I didn't do all that.
You've done stuff. You've done Robin Williams stuff by the time you got to
yeah, that's true. That's what I said when I first met Alan was, how did we get this movie star?
I love how
this guy's a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you saw me. It is true. You had done at least 20 things before you came on to Firefly. Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, most of those
you were a pro, and I was a pebble in a stream with a movie star, a full-on pro, and I'm just going with as the water pushed me, thinking, boy, I hope did I ever tell you the story where I thought I got fired?
No.
No.
So before we hired Morena Baccarin, we had a young lady on the show who filmed one day with us.
Uh-huh.
And I was constantly afraid of because this is my first lead role, first 1-hour drama. I had no idea what I was doing. Clearly, I had no idea what I was doing. Joss pulls me aside and says, hey, can I talk to you alone? I was like, oh, this is bad. Sure hope I'm not getting fired. And we went for a little walk on the Fox lot, and he said, listen, it's nothing personal. Sometimes these things just happen. I went, oh, no. Sometimes things don't work out. I'm like, oh, God, this is happening.
Wow.
And it's nobody's fault, but we are going to go a different direction with that Anara character. And I went, oh, my God. I had tears in my eyes. I thought that was it for me. But that's the precarious nature of where I was just at that time. Working with two people, and then Adam Baldwin, he had a forever career.
Yeah,
Jewel
right.
State probably was in the business longer than all of us put together by the time she hit that show.
Yeah. Ron.
It was just
Ron
Glass, just bringing the class.
Yeah.
I was so wildly impressed by you guys and thinking, I really got to pull up my space boots here and keep up with these people.
Never would have guessed.
Never would have guessed. Yeah, you keep up from the lead. You happen to keep up from in front of us. It was an interesting way you pulled that off because you were definitely leading the cast. There was no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You were comfortably in charge.
Gina, when did you know acting was for you? You went to a hoity-toity acting school. You're one of those, both of you. Again, here we are, both of you. Intimidating.
Here we are. I look, when you grow up in New York City, it's actually a public school. It's just a public school that that couple of people made movies about. So I went to the quote unquote fame school.
Is that on 65th? Is that right over there by?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're going to live forever.
LaGuardia. Yeah.
That's where Moreno went too.
You're going to learn how to fly. Hi.
And yes, exactly. That's the one where we danced on tabletops during lunchtime and spilled out into the streets.
Did that ever happen once? Did it ever happen once?
No, but we would take over train cars and just sing.
Really?
Yeah. We would do that. We would absolutely do that, whether it was the gospel choir, whether it was the senior chorus or the junior chorus, because whatever our major was, whether it was singing, whether it was a musical instrument or art, we had shows and those counted for our grade. So twice a year, there would be concerts from every major. There would be a play from every major. There would be an art exhibit from the art majors.
Wow.
And so we would leave rehearsal from chorus. And if a group of us were all going uptown at the same time or downtown at the same time, somebody would break into whatever it was that we were learning. And it would be even better if you had a tenor, an alto, and a soprano.
Now, did you walk into that school saying, oh, I guess I'm going to be an actor? Or did you walk in there saying, this is what I want to do. I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to sing. Or did you walk in there and go, oh, everybody else is doing this. Maybe I'll try.
I knew about the school because my sister went to that school as well.
Oh,
and she was she's older than I am. And so she was actually one of the students that was studying in the school at the time that they were making the original movie.
Wow.
I remember seeing the musical theater department do Pajama Game. I went to that show, and one of the lead singers, one of the soloists in the film, was the lead of the Pajama Game the year that I saw it.
Wow.
So
that
I was
must
just
have been
like
starstruck.
It was like my like, what is going on here? So that was my world where I had entree into this world that I always knew I wanted to be a part of, but no real way of getting there because nobody in my family was in show business at all.
Really?
At all. No. I had done a play in junior high where I had a solo and I got applause, thundering applause at the age of 14. And I thought, oh, I like that. That hits just right. How do I get more? By the time I was a senior in high school and I was applying to all the colleges, and I knew I didn't want to go to college. I knew I wanted to hit the streets and start. And I was in one of two cities in the country where you could do that.
Right.
You know, where most people, like, if they screw up, they go home. Well, if I screw up, I was already home. So I'm like,
and if you can make it there, they say you can make it really most places.
So you're the youngest of three siblings.
Yes.
Now, your sister went to the same school, but she didn't pursue the entertainment industry?
She studied film. So she went to the visual arts private university, studied film to become a filmmaker, actually to become a director of photography, and then fell in love with photography. So she has been a very successful photographer and living in, she's got shows.
What's her name?
She's great. Gisela Torres. And she's been living in London.
What is it like being the famous sibling, the recognizable sibling?
I could care less.
God bless family.
I know, right? Very proud, I will say. Very, very proud. They, more than anything, I think because I was so doggedly persistent about doing this. And we all know it's not easy.
No.
You know, everybody listening to this, you know, I hope understands how brutal it is. And then it was even more brutal once I was in the thick of it, trying to figure out where I fit in. Or actually, I didn't have the problem figuring out where I fit in. It was convincing everybody else where I fit in. There's a great deal of pride there from them.
That doesn't surprise me.
And especially looking at your career the way that it started, because you had 20 credits before you were in Firefly, you have a career where you've been working and it's either one episode here, and then taking that last episode and pointing to it as you go into another room and go, look what I just did. You should give me this job now. And just having to scrap.
Yeah.
And
yep. I call that being everybody's house guest. I was everybody's favorite house guest for years. And sometimes they let you stay a weekend, which is like, you know, a longer arc. Sometimes it's a 3-episode arc. Sometimes it's 2. Sometimes it's 4. And yeah, you just keep building and keep building and keep building. And hopefully, you know, your reputation gets out there as, oh, no, she's a good house guest. She's somebody that you want on your side.
Oh, that's good.
The question for both of you. You both have similar backgrounds from the same city. What is the key to success? And not just like, hey, I want to be an actor. What should I do? Like, what would you tell someone who is actually in the business, that they know what they're doing, they got their foot in the door, so to speak? I mean, Gina, you've had a long career. How do you stay relevant? What is the key?
I don't worry about staying relevant. I worry about working.
Oh my God, I've been doing it wrong. I knew it.
I've been so blessed. I've been so blessed to have gotten parts in shows that somehow hit the zeitgeist at just the right time. And so, you know, if you're part of something that is resonating with people, then you get the effects of that. Right?
So
you're sort of guilty by association.
Be lucky.
What I'm saying.
But that'll only carry you so far. You had to do something.
So I can only speak for myself.
Yes.
But I think for me, what has worked is not being precious. Because there is always something to learn. There is always a person to meet. There is always an opportunity in every job. And so if you wait for the stuff that is hot in the moment, then you're missing out on really sharpening your toolkit. And so that's part of not being precious about it. And the only way, honestly, I mean, you have to love the game. You have to be in it for the love of the game. You have to love what you do and be passionate about what you do because
to specify the game being the acting of the craft of acting.
Right.
Great.
The craft of the game, the acting part of it. If that in and of itself isn't sustainable to you, then the rest of it sure as hell won't be.
Agreed.
It's all that saves you, usually, is when you get when you get to do it finally, the feeling you get of doing it and creating and having that come together.
Yes.
Those moments, that's what spurs you on to continue the hustle.
Absolutely. I was just as excited about what I could do between action and cut on Hercules as I was about what I could do between action and cut on Lone Star, on Suits, it's just.
I don't know about that.
We do.
I think that's a very generous thing to say, but I met you soon after you did Cleopatra 2525.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And we talked.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't say it was easy.
You're right.
I didn't say it was easy.
That's what you're talking about being precious, that when you're in a situation where it's tough and you have challenges, that you look for the good challenges that you can sharpen your tools with and not look to the thing that's going wrong, because it's really easy to be in a job going, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong.
Absolutely.
And that's bad house guest.
I mean, I had to make sense of ridiculous shit.
Why am I wearing rubber pants, for God's sake? It's hot as hell.
And I got to the end of the day and I went, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I always wondered, in that dystopian future, who was doing your hair? You girls had some amazing hairdos. I was like, they get up pretty early and someone's got to be doing.
We had a robot.
Oh, there you go.
God bless the robots.
Gina, what was not your first gig, but the one that was your big break, the one that propelled you and where you said, holy crap, I think I've made it.
Oof.
The one that set you on the path you're on now. There's
there's
no turning back.
For her. Motherhood.
The greatest role ever.
There's some truth to that.
I bet, actually.
Yeah, there is some truth to that. I don't believe there is any one thing. I mean, certainly for me, there wasn't any one thing. It was a combination of many things. Like I said, it was a combination of being a house guest in a lot of different houses and meeting the challenge every time. That was the thing. It's like, oh, she met that bar. She did not disappear standing next to Dabney Coleman. She did not disappear standing next to Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk. There, thank you. I got it. You also had the rare thing, which is you did a show and it had its success in Suits. And then not only did you have a spinoff that you produced, but you made happen, which is a whole different kind of artistry. And you built the house for all the guests to come in. Yes. But also it became popular many years after. It was like the hottest show.
That was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did that feel? That must have come out of left field.
It did. And it came out of left field just as everybody was coming out of their houses again, because it became really popular during COVID. So I went from being on a popular show and being recognized to now all of a sudden people are back out in the world experiencing it and telling their friends, did you see this the first time around? You need to see this. And suddenly, like, the supermarket that I'd been going to for years and minding my own business and getting, suddenly, like, the cashiers who knew me were like, oh, I started watching. I'm like, wow, okay.
That's incredible. What a pleasant surprise that something that you did such a great job on, by the way. You do Calm Control so well. You've got that in a bottle. It's so great watching you, but to work hard on something, to enjoy the success of something, to have a positive experience, and then to kick back and let it all hit all over again, but even in a bigger way? Whoa, who does that happen to?
Yeah. Well, it happened to 6 of us.
Congratulations.
That's crazy. That's
Thank
like
you.
when actors go places, they're like, hey, I'm big in Japan. I had no idea I'm suddenly famous. But you were suddenly famous in your home at your favorite places that you went to. It's just coming out after the pandemic.
Yeah. And we were actually bigger in Europe than we were here in the States until the Netflix of it all happened.
Wow.
So that was interesting too. That was interesting, traveling abroad and having that kind of response. And it's something about that character in particular. Like Jessica Pearson just is so beloved by women in particular, but also by men and young people. It's a very,
she comes in and she rocks the room all the time.
There's pretty much, there's that. And she, and she's dressed really well.
Oh, and
yeah, she does have
she
really good
dresses amazing.
costumes. Yeah, I noticed. I don't want to say anything that would be bad, but there's something when I think back on Firefly with Gina, and I think back to our days in Firefly and as we were working. I know you two play leading men and leading ladies. You play romantic interests. You have romantic interests. I had one in Firefly with Gina, it's rare for me. I tend to play weird people, usually aliens and robots and things that don't have romance. Not a lot of sex on camera. I haven't had to deal with that. I don't, and when I do, it's usually done for the benefit of humor. That I'm doing such a bad job of it, or we're so mismatched in the situation. It's just it's a Lotzie. The whole thing is just wrong. So Gina, when I think about you, I have a big fondness in my heart because you're one of the few marriages that I had. And also we had to make out one time.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes. We made out for hours.
So it was on the episode of Our Mrs. Reynolds.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if we appear in that scene except for just a brief
flash
moment.
as we pass by you for a hot second.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe they use a little piece of that for the opening where the two of us are on a bale of hay and we're smiling.
Yes.
Hee. And that was the night.
Yeah.
So the director we had just said, you're in every shot.
Pretty much. Because every time he did a pass, first of all, we were like in each other's faces. So no idea of when the camera was coming at us, walking past us, through us, and done. Right? Until they yelled.
You had no idea when you were going to be on lens during the shot.
Yeah. Because usually they're like, okay, they're past you. Or usually, but it's like everything kept going and moving because it was what it was. And I just, we were in a clincher. You're an excellent kisser, Alan.
Yeah, so are you. It was great. We made out for a long time.
Yes.
Alan has talked about this on more than one occasion. It left an impression. An indelible, lasting, etched in stone impression on Alan. And he does the same thing every time. He'll say, and he'll look up. There was a time, I know, Alan, there was a time when we had to kiss, I know, Alan, and we didn't know when to stop. We just had to, like, the whole time, and it was hours. I know, Alan. No.
I heard you were a little obsessed with it as well, Nathan.
Listen,
heard that
I had to act that whole time. I had to walk around, and I'm just looking over at you guys going, oh, there's someone's having all the fun.
I heard that there were specific questions asked about that.
I wanted to know.
Uh-huh. Do tell.
Listen.
I'm listening.
It's a well-known fact you have the largest lips in show business.
That's right.
How do you compete with that? Alan's got these little paper clips over his teeth. Is he going to be consumed entirely? Is he dancing? Is he fighting for his life?
Clips.
There you go. Actually, I remember we were getting touch-ups, and I think we had a makeup artist, and my usual makeup artist wasn't there. She was probably working on somebody else, and there was another makeup artist who pulled out what's a standard lip brush, and she was going to retouch my lips. And you were standing. Do you remember this? You're standing there, and I quoted Jaws in that moment, and I looked at her and I said, "You're going to need a bigger brush."
I didn't even know the joke, and I called it. I swear I shouldn't have spoiled it.
Well, it was a beautiful night, but that did leave a.
I don't
Left a
remember
mark.
you. I don't remember you being overwhelmed at all.
He was hanging on for dear life.
I will say I'm going to go to another episode. Gosh, which one was it? It's actually the only bed scene that we had. It's where we're Scoito.
Where Alan's doing his eulogy.
Yes.
There's the.
And yeah, who cares? The world may be ending, and like the whole thing. And as much as we made out, there was an even more intimate moment. That scene when you slapped my butt, and so
well,
don't call it's too late to call HR. But what's so great about but it was a surprise.
Yeah.
But it was this wonderful surprise because if you notice, I didn't even flinch.
Not a flinch.
Oh my God.
That was the level of trust.
It felt natural.
And closeness.
Yes.
And it was just like, we're married.
Yes. It felt like it wasn't planned, that's for sure. It just happened.
That was something you two did very, very well, because you were unlikely as a couple. Your two characters were an unlikely couple, but man, that marriage had love and respect. It had what it needed, and you guys sold that really, really well. Congrats. Well done. Have I told you what a great job you did on Firefly?
No, not yet. But I will say, this is what I will say about that. This is something that I've learned in retrospect, because you talk about the work. That's how we started this, and what's important about what you put out there, and really caring about, you're in service to the script and you're in service to the characters. And so you have to have love and respect and for what you do to make that happen. It's not a perfect world. And I remember being frustrated while I was doing Firefly because I wanted to do more. Right? I was like, give me the ball. Like, let me out. Let me do this. But it never, you can feel that way. Like, both things can be true. You can feel that way and still serve your character, still serve the script, right? Still serve the story. So I say all that to say, all these years later, right? You never know what you're putting out there. You never know how the energy and the stories that you're a part of and that you're putting out into the universe. You never know how they're landing on any individual person, on any individual family, on any individual couple. So the great lesson in all of this is, all these years later, when we go to the cons, when we meet people on the street, what our marriage meant to fans of the show, and our dedication to each other and that couple, how it resonated with biracial couples, with couples that people wouldn't necessarily put together.
With men with paperclip lips who struggle to be understood. It's
so humbling to see all that come back in this really beautiful, beautiful way.
That's the version of, like, when you talked about when you were in junior high school and you had a song and you sang it to roars of applause. TV doesn't give you that anymore. You don't wrap up a scene to applause. But 25 years later, you're walking down the street and someone stops and says something meaningful to you. Wow. Yeah. I've noticed throughout my career, when I meet people, the ones that stick around are only the ones I like. You do deliver. You do a fantastic job. You call upon your craft. The job you do is amazing. But it's also what you do and how you treat people behind the camera. It's how you treat the others around you. I think that is part of your longevity, is who you are as a human being and what you bring to not the show, but the day-to-day with everybody you got to spend time with. Clearly, Alan and I love you to death. We adore you. And thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual. Oh, yes.
Hello, and thank you for listening. This is Nathan Fillion. Now is the part where I read aloud the credits for our show in my best telephone voice. So, put on some headphones, lay back, and relax, because this is our time. If you haven't yet, you can always head over to our Patreon to get bonus content, longer episodes, and a chance to get your hands on some incredible crap. If you loved the show, please leave us a review, and feel free to tell all your friends. If you didn't love the show, now is the time for quiet contemplation. Once We Were Spacemen is a Collision 33 production. Some of the names I will mention are my favorite people in the world, and some of them have room for improvement. You know who you are. If you hear your name being read, please stand up. This show is produced by Siobhan Homan and Josh Levy of Collision 33. We are edited, mixed, and produced by Resonate Recordings, with special thanks to Courtney Blomquist and Adam Townsell. Our theme music is done by Carlos Sosa and Joshua Moore. Artwork by the incredible and incomparable Louis Jensen. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think he fakes his accent. Until next time. He was hanging on for dear life